All right, you beautiful, and I do mean beautiful grasshoppers.
They really are.
Easter Sunday was just is Easter. I saw my schedule. Is it Easter Monday as well? Like just a 2-day event?
It could be, yeah. And certain, I know, like Russian Orthodox, their Christmas is actually, I think, January 6th.
Oh,
It's just a different interpretation of the
right.
The calendar.
Right. And so I to many of my, and I have a lot of Christian friends. So I reached out and said, "Happy Easter." And they'll come back. He has risen. Mm-hmm. So is this Easter is when Christ.
So yeah, he was crucified, and they put him in a tomb, so to speak, and they put a big rock in front of it. They went back 3 days later. The rock was gone. He was gone.
So he's probably training with you then. Like that's how you train.
Yeah. Well, he did. His cardio was kind
of the whole. Yeah.
Yeah.
You watch one of your videos.
Little hand-to-hand stuff.
Right. Yeah. Use some leverage there. Watch one of your videos. All right, everybody. This is a magnificent Mark Puttenvig Patriot Training Systems. He can train anybody from the Lord Jesus to aliens. Okay, but here's
I'm old enough. I might have trained him. Now that I think about it. Yeah.
Oh, goodness. I should laugh. Obviously, this is a sad day for a lot of Christians. Yeah. Is it a sad day? I mean, do they look at it as like a joyous event that Pope has passed, that what he gave to the world? Is that, or is it sad? Just plain sad.
I think it's, for Catholics especially, it's sad, and it's sad. But again, to your point, they remember all the things he did, and it's even for non-Christians, he's a very it's the Pope. I mean, everybody knows who the Pope is.
Sure. Yeah.
And, so he, in some senses, I don't know if you would say he's a world leader, but he sure has a lot of influence.
Right. I saw some of his speeches today were very interesting. Although, so in Christianity, they're against homosexuality, but he was very clear. He said that homosexuality was a sin, but it didn't mean it was against the law. Like he was very somewhat controversial, right?
I mean, in certain nations, it is against the law. Unfortunately.
Yeah. I think that's what he was trying to say, that it should not be against the law. It's a sin, but yeah.
And
yeah, definitely. So another coach bites the dust with Peter Laviolette with the Rangers.
I mean, they had to do that. I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah. And you know what? He's going to take a lot of the blame, but this happens all the time. Last year when they won the President's Trophy, he was this godlike figure, right? I should say godlike in the day like today, but he was well revered amongst Ranger fans. Now all of a sudden they have the disaster season that they did, and he's fired. But that's
more than once. Coach of the year gets fired the next year.
Yeah, is that true? That's a jinx now.
Multiple times. It's a tough job, man.
Yeah.
You and I talk about it.
And I think even more so now, the coach has a role in the team's success, but he's got to have the players, and they have to have the right players too, with the right mentality. Yeah.
Bottom line is you have to have the horses to run the race.
Yeah.
And if you don't have them,
you have to have the guys that are think you're going to motivate. And I know it doesn't boil down to money. We talked about this, but let's say I'll look at Nathan McKinnon out in Colorado. What's he making? I don't know, is he 12, 13, whatever he's making, million a year? You're not going to motivate him. He has to motivate himself. Like he wants to be this great player. And I just,
I think that's in today's world, it's a little different because, early on you had 6 teams. So not only did you have to be a world-class hockey player, but you also had to be the toughest guy in the valley. Right?
Yeah, totally.
And it was that way for even through when you played, because we expanded, but not to the point now. The game's changed. We're moving the red line, made it a different game, and now with all it's a little bit more. I don't think my point is that you don't have like those Barclay Goodrows that are going to every single game just go out there and play because they want to win a cup.
I know.
Since they're little boys,
Yeah. Like we had a guy the real Ranger fans remember Jan Eriksson was a guy from the Rangers.
Yes.
Like what's this, a star guy, very quiet, great teammate, but always just did his job. You could count, like when you're playing with Jan Eriksson, I could count every time I came around the back of the net, I knew he was going to be on the hash mark. I was going to have somebody to pass to. If he couldn't get he was going to get it out of the zone, pick up his man coming back. A good player. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. I mean, so we've talked about Jim Gordon and the big whistle.
Yeah.
And one of the things the whistle used to say about players, Bill Chadwick, he's an honest player.
Yeah. Yeah.
And do you remember Billy Collins?
Billy Collins.
He played before you, way before you, but anyway, he was the first guy. What he meant was he just, again, you know where he's going to be. He's a consummate professional. He'll get you 15, 20 goals a year.
Right.
But He's
And
gonna be
it,
really
it had to be
good.
hard on him too, because his brother was that good musician, right? The good singer and everything.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Phil Collins.
Oh, Phil. Yeah, Phil. I thought you were talking about John Erickson again. Yeah.
Did you hold on? Did I just get you on a smart ass
Yeah,
joke?
you did.
I
Yeah,
stumped you for a
did.
second?
Yeah, you got me. Yeah.
That could be the first time in history that
Yeah,
has happened.
I'm out on my back.
You're here it is. It's all this religious stuff going on. Easter, Pope passed away.
Yeah.
So do we say to everyone that's more of a Christian? Do we say we're sorry for your loss, or
No, I don't think. Yeah, there's no. That's not necessary.
Yeah,
You know, we're all
So-
aware of it. So
yeah. And in all seriousness, so the Pope. So there's Christianity. There's Catholics. Do they
The
all kind of worship the Pope? Is that
no. The Pope is unique to the Roman Catholics.
Roman Catholic?
But again, as we discussed earlier, he's a world figure. I'm sure there's a lot of people, or most people, revere him for who he is, but they're not necessarily Roman Catholic.
Who do you think of all the people that follow us and listen to us? Who do you think the most intelligent one? That's a tough question. I'm going to cut right to it. That's unfair to ask you that. Clearly, Keith Morano is obviously up at the start there.
Well, look at his observation. I mean, that is a brilliant man, right?
He's like a scientist.
Yeah.
Like he's probably done a study on that or something like that.
No, he's a great dude. I love Keith.
Another veteran there for us.
He's heading out. They're in nationals this coming weekend, I believe.
Oh, okay.
The Warriors. I think they're down in Florida.
Oh, nice. Here's somebody, Nick Lavia.
Another
Nick,
Warrior.
Oh, that's right. Yes, Nick, how you doing there, brother?
Yeah.
Ranger Prayer. What the heck happened this season? Okay, well that could take a couple of shows there. Well, okay. So whenever I discuss, I think Mark's in the same category too. Older guys that were in the game. One of the things that has really changed, and it's like almost fair, well, guys should be like that. Well, the culture's changed, social media's changed, the money's changed, everything. So this group of people now, young kids in general, athletes, professionals, seem to be they're much more sensitive. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Right. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. They're more
aware.
You know, their feelings are more important. Like we didn't have feelings when we played.
Still don't.
Right. Exactly. That's the truth.
That requires a brain.
I know. So, I mean, from what you see in podcasts, and read and hear, and again, not having any inside knowledge other than like everybody else watching, Mark and I both are saying, just watching the team play. A lot's being made of the way the perception of how Trouba was treated and Goudreau were treated, and that Kreider's name got public, that he was going to get traded. And it appears that was the source of a lot of people having hurt feelings. Right.
Yeah, the locker room was not a good one.
Right.
No one has to even be in there to realize it wasn't a good one. And I'm sure there were clicks, you know.
Yes.
And, you brought a great point up. These are a lot. I mean, so like Alex Lafreniere, how old is this guy? 23? They're still just kids.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Great point by you. That's very true. Yeah. Like, I think he's going to look back after signing the contract. It's easy to perceive that he got the contract and kind of mailed it in. Right? That's the perception. But to your point, hopefully he looks during the summer and says, listen, I'm only going to play 10, 12, 15 years in the NHL. I really just wasted a year. I don't want to do that again. You hope that he comes to that conclusion. But
yeah, when these guys early on and they sign a big contract, and I'm guilty of this, and they don't have a great year, I think right away he shut it down. Well, maybe it's the opposite. Maybe he was squeezing the stick because he felt the pressure.
Yep.
I mean, that could work against you too.
Yep. And sometimes you think, okay, now, like I'm a 10 million, whatever we got, like I'm an $8 million a year player. That's something you grow up as a kid. Right. It's not necessarily the money even. It's the verification that you are that level of player. Right. And that's something you've dreamed of all your life. And I've talked this before. When I was on the All-Star ballot 06, 07, that was the weirdest thing that ever happened to me. Not that I wasn't confident, but I was like, are you kidding me? I'm on the All-Star ballot? Like that was unbelievable.
Just a young kid.
Yeah. And looking back, I should have really taken advantage of that and said, okay, wow, I'm looked at in that category as a player. So yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, I think we lose sight of that. Like these guys, they're just kids. You know?
Yeah, I know that is true. And they're kids that have been, and I was the same way, somewhat pampered their whole lives too. Maybe not somewhat, but definitely pampered. Right? We're allowed to. Everybody's telling us how great we are all the time. We're allowed to do things we shouldn't get away with. So yeah,
it's tough to turn that off. And but this year, I think, to answer Nick's question, my opinion is everything went wrong. You
Yeah.
can't look at one thing. I think it was the Drury certainly didn't handle Goudreau, true, but he didn't handle a lot of things right in terms of how he presented it publicly. A lot of that stuff could have been kept behind closed doors.
And again, listen, and he's in the same category. He's a new GM.
Yeah.
So when he was handling the whole Chuba thing, for example, could you have, if you had more experience, would you have looked back and said, well, this is, once I open this door, you can't close that door, right? So would he have done things differently? He's the only guy that can tell that. So, yeah.
And he may know things I'm sure he knows a lot of things we don't know.
Yeah.
But so as far as the next coach, I mean, I think they have to wait a while to see what they're going to be able to do with the roster.
So a couple of things.
There?
Hold on. Let me think here. Let me just answer a couple of questions. I thought it was smart to serve the Rangers, and I'm not certain what direction they should go. Yeah, well, that's great. We'll get into that too. Prima is becoming norm versus the exception. You could see it that way, especially when the older guys look at it. Dan Erickson, remember Dugay's goal total song before? Yeah. That was Herb Brooks didn't like him too at that point. All right. So I'm sorry, Mark, where did you leave off there when I answered those questions? Coaching going forward. Yeah, no, coaching.
Coaching. Yeah.
Right.
So Mike Sullivan's he's tied in pretty deep.
Well, I think they're looking to say, listen, this team's not going to win, obviously, right? They've got to rebuild that team. Problem is you get Sidney Crosby, one of the greatest players ever played. What do you do there? I mean,
they're really close, right? I understand Sullivan and Crosby are very close.
I would think so. Yeah, I think they are. So, I mean, okay, listen, Wayne Gretzky got traded. So to say that Sidney Crosby can't get traded, maybe he wants to get traded. He's
traded to New York.
Well, I mean, a lot of people because of his relationship with Nathan McKinnon, a lot of people, think about Colorado, and who knows. But I mean, does he want to stay around while they rebuild? And the same things with Sullivan. So they may be saying, listen, we just need a fresh, not that Sullivan's not a great coach, not that he hasn't done great things for the organization there in Pittsburgh, but we just need fresh air, right? It's something different. So they may, and listen, he's under contract, but I mean, I don't know what kind of relationship Chris Drury has with Kyle Dubas there, who's the GM in Pittsburgh. Now, do you call him up and say, listen, we have interest in Sullivan. I want to do this properly, professionally. Obviously from Pittsburgh's end, if they're thinking of moving away from him and he's got 2 years left on his contract, if the Rangers take over that contract, they now save Pittsburgh money, really, right? And it's a smaller market team, so that could matter.
And they have Sullivan and Drury. They played together. They coached together.
Yep.
I think.
And Sullivan had coached here as an assistant coach with Tortorella. So
yeah, exactly. So Tortorella is to me a non-starter. I mean,
well, okay.
Okay.
Glad you brought the name up. So Mr. Dolan, who obviously is in charge there, is very aware of how the fans. He looks at how the fans feel. So he looks at, listen, I have a responsibility, and I like this. I have a responsibility as an owner to listen to these fans. They spend a lot of money. Without the fans, we don't have a team. And they were unhappy with what went on there way back with Tom Wilson and when John Davidson, Jeff Gordon were there, whether we agree with that or not. And he made decisions accordingly. So he sees the team play lackluster, shall we say. And he thinks to himself, and somebody says to him, if he asks anybody, they're going to say, well, who's the one coach, at least right now, that can change that attitude? It's John Tortorella. Now, hold on 1 second. I just want to see what Susan has to say here. Wonder Woman. Rangers breakup try to said he may need hand surgery, injury first game after Four Nations, ear infection, back injury, vertigo, hangnail. Okay, Susan, we love you to death, but everybody. I don't like when players do this when they had an ear infection. Hold on, ear infection and vertigo. Well, that's
I understand her point of view, but the reality of it is, it's everybody.
Yeah, everybody has injuries, and I get it, and I should be careful because I think the same way about Kreider. Like I've said, I've met him at events. Tremendous guy.
He's had a great career here.
Yeah, I don't like when people. I would rather. I understand it that they say these things about injuries, but I
you
guess
just want to, he's probably getting toward the end. So
Yeah.
does he want to finish here, or does he want to go somewhere maybe where they need that guy to win a cup, like
Right.
Colorado? Maybe for whatever reason, somebody needs that front presence
Yeah.
on a power play. But
Yeah.
it's excuses or
Yeah.
maybe a better word would be justifications.
Right.
Or,
reasons. Right. We could have got some eardrops, something for. Right. I would have run to
but
CVS.
here, going back to torts.
Oh, hold on. Look at Wonder Woman translately.
Yes.
Yes, Susan, we will. Wonder Woman, I apologize. You have your cape on today. Wonder Woman's cape. All right. So, but coaches, so there's
Well,
so
don't you think, and you would know better than me, but isn't Sullivan kind of a hard guy, but not crazy hard like Torts?
right. He's not
I
a
think
Tortorella.
that's-
Yep.
Yeah, I think
But
that would be perfect right now.
Yeah, he has what the Rangers need. Is somebody that's going to make them more account. I guess one of the knocks I would have, and again, not knowing what was going on there with Laviolette, why keep with the same guys over and over, particularly on the power play when it's not going well?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there was a lot.
There's obviously, is that just the way he's that old school guy? I'm going to go with the guys that brought me.
Yeah, it looks like he really, and his reputation is he just relies on veterans, and if they're not doing well, he feels they're going to get out of that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And he also knows that, okay, I need to, and this isn't just self-preservation, but it's part of it. The old guys run the locker room in most cases. And I need to be able to be in control of the locker room. If I lose the old guys, I've lost the team. There's that. And that isn't just self-preservation. That's just the ability to coach the hockey team.
Well, and you wonder too, and I don't know if this plays into it, probably doesn't, but maybe the pressure from management, because paying that guy $12 million.
Yep. Totally.
He's getting 8 minutes.
Totally. Yep.
What are we doing?
Totally. Yeah. Yep. I agree. So the other name that pops up is Joe Quenneville. So yeah, I know. So people that don't know, Joe Quenneville won 3 cups there in Chicago.
Great
very
coach.
well-respected coach. Yep. I can't remember why, but he ended up leaving Chicago and going down to Florida. And I think was there for a couple of years. And then all that stuff came out about the sexual abuse while he was in Chicago coaching.
The video coach or something.
Right, video coach. And apparently they were not happy. They felt that, I think the term that the NHL used was lack of attention to the matter or didn't do enough.
Yeah.
So you could argue, I'm the coach. I'm not a
child.
Yeah, I'm not a psychiatrist. But as a grown man, if somebody tells you that another person is being sexually abused, you would have hoped they've done more.
Yeah. So when you get your coaching card from USA Hockey, even USA Boxing, you have to go through this Safe Sport. It's about an hour, videos and this.
Yep.
And really, the bottom line is, if you know about it, you have to go to the law. You have to go to and report it.
Yep. Yeah. And he did not.
And let it go where it goes. And he chose not to.
Yeah. And it's so easy I'm sure he would say too, you know what? I was so wrapped up in being a hockey coach. I didn't look at it from the human standpoint. I would hope that he would look at it that way and realize now, okay, I should have done something differently.
And he probably was freaked out by it because he's probably thinking, if it's true, what do we do with this? I don't,
And, when you're in that circle, this is not right at all. I'm not trying to justify this, but when you're in that circle, I can guarantee you there's certain people saying there's no way that's not happening.
Right.
Because when you're living in that world, you're thinking, Joe Paterno, who's this fantastic coach and human being at Penn State, apparently that's what happened with him. And I will still believe that he was this great guy. He just didn't, he was like, what? Like, there's just no way that could happen. And didn't act accordingly. So,
very possible.
But apparently, great coach, would love to get back in. Now, Madison Square Garden is a publicly traded company. It's a corporation. So that especially, other stuff, they've had other women who've had sexual assault claims filed. We have this recent incident with Ante Panarin. I know for a fact there's another team that was looking for a coach this year and brought up Quenneville's name, and the owner goes, let's not even go there. Like he just didn't, it wasn't that he was against them, but didn't even want to open up that can of worms.
I think what happened with just in recent history with Panarin, before that, Quenneville was questionable. Now it's no.
Yeah.
It's a hard no.
It'd be a tough one. Imagine, if they do that. Again, you're answering to shareholders and everything, and that's not, but it's just reality.
And again, everybody might be innocent here. It's just perception becomes reality. And to your point, you got shareholders and media would just have a field day with that.
Yeah. And especially it shouldn't be this way, especially if they don't do well too. That's another reason just to pile on. Here is the queen of the Greenwich Library right here. Just so you know, Carla Sherman. Yes, queen. I do mean queen. Like she basically runs it. She walks in, like kind of like she doesn't actually have like the thing on her head. What do you call that? The crown. It doesn't have the crown.
The crown.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It's not actually there, but she's treated as such.
Now I have to ask you, how do you handle the Dewey Decimal System? Are you good with that, or?
No, you know what? I'm gonna have to go look that up. I used to know what the Dewey does. Is that how they put the
book?
You
remember it was like a numbering system where you found the book and you went to I think a bigger book up front and go through it.
But you do need to give me credit for the fact that I know somebody that actually works at a library.
That's what, this is really impressive. I have to say,
Thank you.
You just
that may have gotten lost in the whole conversation.
No, that was my first thought.
Revisit.
It was the librarian.
Totally.
Yeah.
Let me see here. We got from the great Danny Erickson, the reincarnation of LR would be a good show.
Yeah.
Yep. But okay. The only reason I disagree is, Mark, I'm sure you agree with this. The times have changed though. Like he couldn't act like the new Al Arbor couldn't act the way the old Al Arbor.
No. Everything's different now.
Yeah. Let me see here from Wonder Woman.
And that's, do you go with a college guy? I mean, it's kind of hard. Like, what do you, this is my whole point. Like,
I know that's tough.
How do you even,
it's New York. We had Quinn before, and I thought he was actually a very good coach.
So did I. Yeah.
So Quinn gets a pass from you. Kreider gets a smirk. Okay, let me clarify that. Good point by you. I'm glad you brought it up there, Wonder Woman. Quenneville doesn't get a pass. I think what he did, again, in a perfect world, I think what he missed the boat there. He should have stepped up more and done more. Now, I understand. I'm not trying to make excuses. I understand the environment he was in when he did or did not do what he did or did not do. But
I think, no, I think all these kind of allegations and what happened, what didn't happen, it really gets super complicated.
Yeah.
I mean, Billy Guerin got it, and he was being interviewed, I'm sure, by Minnesota because it was an incident in Wilkes-Barre where he was coaching with a player and player's wife.
Yep.
It didn't involve Billy, but he didn't put it forward.
Definitely.
And again, it's a really tough thing because you can make a mistake and really slam somebody that didn't need to be slammed.
Yeah, totally. Now, and in terms of Kreider, okay. She was comparing the two. Like I gave a smirk to Kreider. I think he's fantastic. It's just I wish players wouldn't act like that. Hold on. I missed it here. Carla was saying something I should come in for the my card, my library card. I think I have it too. Elbow Ranch, Texas. Checking in. Yes, the great Bruce.
There you go.
You sexy bugger, you. Long shot. James Patrick, love to have James Patrick. I think. Well, listen, I shouldn't say no. I think he'd be fantastic at it.
Yeah,
he's a great, a dear friend of mine. But I don't know if his name would. Part of it is, it's New York City too, right? There's a certain name that's why I think that the whole college coach thing. Yeah. And what I heard was too that Mr. Dolan was going to be involved in the breakaway meetings too that everybody has. He wanted to hear, which I think is great. So somebody's got Well, here's the thing: somebody's got the air Calvin DeHaan. Okay, if you want to air the dirty laundry, you have a chance to do it. But how many guys would actually do it if they plan on staying here
for the owner?
Yeah.
What about throwing your hat in the ring?
What's that?
You throw your hat in the ring.
Oh, I want to be GM. I wouldn't want to coach.
Yeah.
Barry Trotz. Yeah. Listen, one of the nicest and most respected guys in the game. He's obviously a GM now in Nashville. The story is, and again, I don't want to. There's a lot of talk that his time had kind of passed in coaching. That to be, it happens. You get older.
Things change.
Yeah.
What about Boudreaux? Same thing. Old school.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah.
I think that would be just adding to the drama. Great, funny guy.
Yeah, he is.
Great press conferences.
Then let's bring in Sutter.
Oh yeah, wouldn't that be something?
That would be awesome.
Who's that, Dwayne or Daryl? It was
Daryl.
Daryl.
Yeah. Oh, he's just a machine.
Oh yeah. There's our buddy up there, Buffalo, the beautiful veteran up there.
Good morning, Ron.
Chicken wings. Let me see here. Carla's on board today. She's on fire. I think the coach is going to wait and see the dynamic of the team before they commit to the.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a good point. Again, you could be right, but I think, you don't have like the top coaches around, I think, are viewed right now are Brindamore in Carolina, Cooper in Tampa, Paul Maurice down in Florida. I guess Cassie now has kind of built himself up to that point there.
DeBoer's kind of in there.
So those guys aren't available, obviously. So I think the guys that are available, if there's an opportunity to get the job, they're going to take it.
They mentioned Rick Tocchet.
Yeah, Rick Tocchet's name's popped up.
And again, I think could be a good fit here for what that room is now. They just needed a little bit, tighten down the bolts a little bit, make everybody kind of just get back.
And he has got much more of that, perception, because the way he played, obviously it doesn't matter the way you played, but it's still his.
Oh, that's how that's your charisma. You're coaching,
Yeah, J.D. Pandolfo's name has popped up. I don't see that as a
great college coach. And I think that's probably where he'll stay. He's a Boston guy.
Yeah,
and I know Jay from back in the day. He's a great.
Oh,
guy.
Yeah. I don't know him. Yeah,
great guy.
No, on this one, Danny, I think he had his chance here with the Islanders. It didn't work out. To me, to come into New York, especially with what's happened, you got to have a presence about you. Like, you need to be able to stand in that locker room, stand at the press dais, and really own the room. Now, Tocchet does that. Tortorella does that. Sullivan does that. Quenneville does that.
Craig
Berube does that. And, that's very true. Craig Berube does that for sure. I got to tell you, one guy I do not like at all is the guy coaches St. Louis now that was in Boston.
Montgomery.
He bugs me. I watch him behind the bench. He's like a drama queen behind the bench. Like, if he makes one more, like the head goes back and he's rubbing the eyes, and like, oh, jeez, coach. Like you talk about Al Arbor, he would stand there no matter what, and things wouldn't change.
You wouldn't even know the game is on.
Yeah, like the world doesn't need to see your emotions. Like, are you getting therapy on the bench, or are you coaching, for God's sakes? Yeah,
it works. So he's turned that team around. You got to give him credit.
Well, yeah. Well, to use bench boss David Cole, the guy needs a serious look. Okay, but people say that, but why? Is he a good recruiter, or is he a good coach? Like, to win in college hockey now, especially now in college sports, you got to be able to recruit.
Yeah.
So, Mike Keenan, Monsoori, no, that's not happening. Prior James Patrick conversation, he like developing young players, and any coach has to know that. Listen, I think, to be clear, I think James Patrick would be an excellent coach. I don't know if his name would be thrown in there. He would, and part of the issue with James is he's not a self-promoter. Like, there's a little bit of self-promotion, or having somebody else that's promoting you too is important. That's just I hate to say it like that, but that's just the name of the game. So, Laidlaw is describing Messier. See, the problem with a star player like that, and Gretzky faced this in Phoenix, and I'm not saying this is the whole reason it didn't last in Phoenix, is that those kind of star players can't figure out why a player that's not as good can't do it, right? Like if Wayne Gretzky watching me on a breakaway, he goes, Tom, well, why didn't you score? Well, Wayne, I'm not Wayne Gretzky, for God's sake, right? So, yeah. Let me see here what we got here. Doesn't Tocchet have to take for not being able to get Pearson? No, I don't think so.
No, there's more of that story. I'll leave it at
that. Good point. And I think, we need to be careful.
We'll just leave it right there.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff regarding Peterson, who he is, and JT. Now, it's out there in the public to read. I've read it, so people can, if you want to do your homework, you can. But I think you're right. We shouldn't pass that on. But so no, I just like, and I got to be honest, and Susan, I'm glad you bring this point up. That's one of the things that I don't like. Like, people not getting along, because you figure if you're going to have an NHL team, you've got a 23-man roster, I think it is now. Mm-hmm. But by the time you bring guys up and down and trades, you're probably looking at 30 different players that may play on a team. And to think you're always going to get along with every guy, it's more like, in fact, it's a guy you don't get along with, but you go out on the ice and you beat the crap out of somebody to protect that guy that you may not even like, right? That's how the team wins.
100%.
So, yeah. Let me see. We want Yo, and we want Yo. Yo. That's my dog. when I was a kid. Three-legged dog. But I think to Ron's point is, whoops, what do we got going on here? Hold on here. I pushed the wrong button. I put an extra screen there. I think a coach is important. Paul Maurice said at Bents, I think it was last year in the playoffs where they were on the run they asked him would you like some technical questions. I said, listen, guys, I got to be honest. He said, I get way too much credit here. The players do it. I don't. I have a job to do and I play a role in it, but they go do it. And I think that's the best way to look at the coach. That's why you then have to look at the GM and say, okay, you need to put the right talent on the team. You need to put the right personalities on the team. You need to have that mix. You can't have all first line guys. You can't pick an all-star team. You got to have fourth line guys, third line guys, on and on. So
one of the best things I heard, and it kind of makes sense. Coach said, practice, that's my time, right? The game, it's your time.
Yeah.
I'm just managing.
Totally.
I'm just managing.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like Sheldon Keefe, I watched him, and I don't know the man. Got fired from Toronto. They got hired right away by Devils. Now they played well. No, they lost Hughes. They lost.
Everybody got hurt.
Yeah, but I'm going. Why? What makes him a good coach? So I watched the game, and I'm not like PK Subban was actually on him, so I'm almost like afraid to jump on board with PK. But what I didn't like was they felt like I got the sense he was sending the message to the team that Carolina is this great forechecking team. So just dump the puck out of our zone all the time. Well, which, as you know, you dump the puck, you get it out, but now you don't have possession. Now they're turning around, come right back. And it sends the message to your team that we're not good enough to come out of our own zone, tape to tape, which that's the worst thing you want to say to your team. Like you say, listen, guys, these guys are men just like we are. They're hockey players. Yeah. Play our game, tape to tape passes coming to our zone. And I just don't like that. And I think that's a huge part of the coaching thing too. It's again, we can talk about, I think people talk about structure and skill. Like, man, it's a mental part of the game, man. You get your guys to believe that they can beat anybody. And that's why I think Rod Brind'Amour is so good. Because, again, he's got a good team there in Carolina, but he's got them to believe in a certain system. Like, go, attack, go. That's the way he played. That's the way he coaches. So,
yeah, there's another prime example of a team that has his character.
Yeah.
That's what he coaches. Yeah. This is one of the problems in youth hockey that you see is teaching systems. I mean, come on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know. Is that true when you see a coach for like a squirt team or whatever, like 8-year-old, 9-year-old kids? Okay, here's a system. We got a player. Here's our power play.
40 minutes at the board drawing. And the kids,
I know. And the kids are like they've gone to school all day long with the teachers trying to tell them what to do, and they're practicing. And they're smart enough to just sit there and pretend they're paying attention. Yeah. Not paying attention. And I was the same way too. You probably were too when you're 8, 9 years old. Coach, give me the puck for God's sake.
I want to go skate and shoot.
Pass Got to go to Dunkin' Donuts after and get some donuts, and that's life. Life is good at that point.
Not a care in the world.
Yeah. Yes, you're right here, Danny. You're right. Your daughter, your wonderful daughter, Kaylee, can come up with an EV character to coach the radio.
I love it. I look forward to it. That's awesome.
Yes, Ron. We got your sarcasm there, Ron. We got your sarcasm. We got it. Don't you worry. Let me see here. Lindy Ruff finished with 9 wins. Would you consider one of the top? I think a good coach. Like to me, if you look back at the history of coaches, I really like. To me, as this sounds terrible, like even Scotty Bowman. Well, you coached the Montreal Canadiens. Like, you could throw out the whole, like the Hall of Fame team out there. I look and say, okay, what did you do in Buffalo? What did you do in St. Louis when he coached? He didn't do well. When he got to Detroit, he won because he had Steve Yzerman and Sergei Fedorov.
You got to have again, slats. I mean, you got Gretzky, Anderson, Curry, Paul Coffey, Grant Fuhr. I mean, you got to manage it.
Yep.
You got to make sure it works. That's where the coaching is.
You look back at the history of coaching. Al Arbour, I think he really made a difference. And you talk to his players. I talk to John Tonelli all the time, and he really built that. And I asked JT this recently too. We had this conversation. I said, well, "How did you guys know you could win all the time?" It just seemed to me when we were playing against you guys just knew. And he said, because he thought that Al Arbour really built that reputation in the locker room that we would always find a way to get it done. And that's who they really became. And I think that's the coaching that you need. And who does that is Al Arbour. I do think Brind'Amour does it. I do think, again, John Cooper gets a lot of credit. Again, great team, but I think he's smart enough like Paul Maurice to say, I'm keeping my hands away. These guys know what they're doing.
Yeah, I didn't like him at first, but now I found some
Yeah.
respect for that guy.
Yep, totally.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of people in the league that were like that too in Tampa that weren't really too sure about Cooper, but he's smart enough to take that really talent. And they were smart too. I'll tell you, they made some tough decisions. Get rid of Stamkos was a tough decision,
Yeah.
but they did their analysis. Players drop off at that age, so yeah.
He did a great job with the Four Nations as well.
Yeah. That's a hard job too, coaching those kind of guys. There's a lot of egos in that room. Yeah.
Again, just let them play.
Best hit by the Devils was smart. Did you see that play?
Man.
I didn't think the guy got hurt that bad, though. I mean, it was funny. Like to Susan's point, it was pretty funny, but it wasn't. I mean, a little bit of a
no comment.
Yeah, the parachute was open on that one. Man, he was jumping out of the plane there from
A little bit.
10,000 feet. Yeah. Any recently retired players that could be good coaching? See, I don't know. The guys that now they make so much money now when they walk away from the game. And to coach properly now, you got to spend a lot of hours at the rink, right?
You never home.
Yeah. And do they really want to do that? Yeah.
How about Mike Babcock? His name's not coming up.
No, I think that one's passed. Yeah.
I think he did himself in.
That'd be interesting. Then they will probably, maybe they've already done it. Do a documentary on his career. God.
Yeah.
What a weird dude he was.
I was going to say strange cat.
Oh, never tell you the story. When I was in the agent business, he was coaching at Moose Jaw. Moose Jaw had this old building too. I had a couple of players at Moose Jaw. I went down after the game. I wasn't really wanting anything. Just went down, and it was my business, so I would wear a suit to the games. Now this is Moose Jaw, so most people have got their boots and hats on and everything. So I walk in the locker room, and I don't know. I didn't think I did it to him. Maybe he's just in a bad mood. He says, "Who do you think you are walking in here with your suit on and everything?" It's like he wanted it out. It was just him and I in the room, and I'm like you want to do this?
Really? Just you?
Yeah. You want to?
Let's go.
Yeah. And I got the fact that felt like he was like
trying to big league.
Yeah.
How many games did you play? Oh, 0.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yes, that's great. Hold on. Women's won the U.S. gold. That's right. In the World Championship, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I say there's a long list you probably got to get behind that want to crack Babcock.
Yeah. Totally.
Commodore, a whole bunch of guys.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing about being a hard coach. Like Herb Brooks was a hard coach, although I found out some other guys didn't really feel the same way I did. But, you try to be, and I should be careful there because I did find out, like Mike Allison, we talked to him before, how he felt about Herb, and it wasn't very good.
Right.
And again, I think most players are okay. If you want to rip me a new butthole because I do something wrong, go ahead and do it. But just don't be a jerk to me. Don't there's a certain line.
Don't get personal.
Yeah. Hold on. Carla Sherman is like, she's dropping up there in like that.
Good.
Susan and Tracy. Well, we're going to Tracy's a whole. We should have like the whole segment on Tracy, like 10 minutes.
We should do a ladies' day. Wonder Woman. And we got Carla, who's very intelligent. Yeah.
He does long car, no chocolate.
Absolutely.
Great point. Because it causes, like you see Zibanejad's comments about him moving, and what was it like? Both sides, both myself and the team knew what they were signing when we signed the contract. Like basically, you're not moving me.
Yeah.
It's nice to say that, but if a team doesn't want you,
they're gonna waive you.
Yeah. Well, he can't. He's got a no move clause. So I should be careful when I say I can't. I should probably, because I think Goudreau had the same thing, right? But there's
there's
a no trade clause and there's a no move clause.
No move. Can they buy? Well, they can buy him out, right?
They can buy you out. They can send you to the minors.
Yeah.
I think that money then comes off the cap if you're not on the roster, but it's still, so with the Rangers case, cash is not an issue. But so that's the kind of thing they could do to him. Say, listen, Z or whatever you want to call him. Yeah, if you don't want to get traded, we're just going to send you to the minors. We don't want you on the team. Then what do you do at that point as a player? Do you finish your career? Yeah. What is this? Hold on. I'm getting some slack here. City Slicker. What is that all about?
Well, wearing a suit. We went.
Oh, yes. Yeah, very good. Nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Looking back at it, I did wear my cowboy boots then too. I was still wearing cowboy boots at the time, so you got to give me credit there. Let me see here. What do we got here from the great Bruce Levin? Why don't they just go full to
bring him in.
Don Cherry. That'd be entertaining, man. Wouldn't it be entertaining?
That'd be awesome.
I mean, imagine these young kids. Don Cherry walks in and starts saying the stuff he's doing. And he's bringing a cooler of beer in. He's throwing beer.
Yeah.
Oh God, funny stuff. Gilly's reason I would lay low walked in the locker room. Musha. Gilly's is long gone. I would have, if he had said something about my suit, I would have taken it off right then.
Yeah, exactly. Does this fit you?
Yeah. If you want to take it off, Mr. Gillies, it's going to breathe.
You like this?
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Susan's going on a happy note. What a great game. Last game for yes, that's true. Yeah. What a class guy too, the way he handles things. Yeah. Because he's heading out the door. He was interesting too. Like, so the 100th anniversary is coming up with the Rangers, as we know, next season. And apparently he's going to be really still actively involved. And there's going to be a lot of special nights, like bringing back all the captains, all the best defensemen, all that kinds of stuff, all the most popular players, and all the special events.
Cool.
Yeah, definitely. So he's going to be out there a lot doing that. He was even talking about his press conference after about doing one of the options was doing a podcast, him and JD.
Why not? I'd listen to it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think with JD, I've seen him doing a lot more. Well, not a lot more, but doing more stuff lately. Mm-hmm. And I totally get it because JD for years was always like in front of a camera and everything. For him to now just sit back. And I talked to him one time and he says, "Oh yeah, it's great. I'm taking the grandkids to soccer games and everything." It was just fantastic. It's great. But at the same time, he's thinking, okay, let's get this straight. I love my grandkids to death, but I want to be out there. I want to do things. I don't want to fade away. And I admire that too. You don't want to just fade away.
Stay busy.
Yeah. Hold on. Carlos coming up to. Oh, I've got to travel now. Have a great day. I got to travel. Should we just stop the show or should we stop the show or what?
No point in going on.
Yeah. Okay. So let's touch on this while we're like more like that female mode, the Tracy Marie thing. Mm-hmm. So what do you think's gone on here now? I mean, is this a period of, is she mad at us? We don't hear from her for a while.
I don't think it's us.
Oh, okay. You think she's trying to teach me a lesson here?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And the lesson is what? Hey, shut up and just listen to what I say.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of that, but I also think she's obviously a very intelligent woman, and
too smart for my nonsense.
A little bit for both of us, probably.
No, come on. You're being a gentleman there. Come on, let's just tell like it is. She's too smart for my nonsense.
No, yeah, well, she's aware of it. And so she's going to call you out on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Huh, interesting. Okay.
That's another form of love. That's really what that is.
Okay. Oh, I'm glad you said that. So you really think she cares?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
But she's got that tough love thing going on where she wants to.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to be on the wrong side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Ron, let me see here who we got here. Danny Erickson. JD wants to do a sequel to the Hockey Sock Rock. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Hockey Sock Rock. You stop. Yeah, stop the show. Carla wants to. Okay, here we go. She's elevating herself up to now the Susan role, the Tracy role.
In there with them. Yeah. Good. Oh. I like it, Carl. Very good.
Definitely. See, here's another very sweet person, Lorraine here. Very. I get the different sense. Now, maybe I'm going to open up a can of worms here, but she's more. Yeah.
Try to do your best to keep her on.
So we got Tracy, Susan, Carla. Now at I don't want to say at a different level, a different category, right?
Well, like everybody's different. Yeah. Right. And then you got Deb, I forget her name.
Deborah Murney. Yes. Oh, here's what she's doing. And she's doing a little bit of the Tracy thing now. So she's inserting herself by saying hello to Lorraine.
Teaming up.
Right. So that oh yeah. Gotcha.
Strength in numbers.
Oh man.
Well, you're kind of an imposing person, so they got to have a whole group come at
you. Especially females too.
Yeah.
Right. It's like all my ex-wives and ex-girlfriends and everything. And that's what they'll do. Maybe I should I should do a little test here. Put out a list, like send some contact information for ex-wives, ex-girlfriends, and see what happens here. Like who tries to pull them into their
orbit.
Wouldn't that be something? Yeah. Like the whole show and 2.5 Men when Charlie died, and then all the old girlfriends were at the funeral.
That was a great show.
That was funny.
It really was fun. I mean,
oh yeah, isn't that true for guys? The guys love watching that show. That was,
but it was a great cast. I mean, the mother, I forgot her name, the red hair lady, attractive older woman. She was hysterical.
Oh God, there's some funny scenes. Yeah, the whole crew of them together. Yeah. Oh God, that was funny.
And then he went off the deep end.
And who's the stalker there? The neighbor was the stalker. Remember the stalker he had?
I can't remember. But that's funny. It was a great cast.
Yeah.
Hold on. Then it got Tiger Blood.
Yeah, that's right. He wanted to win. Not elevating myself. I tuned in to hear what Mark has to say.
Thank you, Carl.
Oh, is that, hold on. Is that, if I close my eyes, is that Tracy or is that Carla speaking?
That's Carla. Thank you, Carla.
My God. Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
goodness.
and here's what happens too. There's always one of the guys. Hello, ladies. Like
Yeah.
always one of the guys is Danny.
He's a slick guy. You got to watch him. I know
Yeah.
this game. He's
I know.
slick. You got to watch Ron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, let me see. It took a while to convince my wife that Tom was a good guy. Oh, see, here's what happens. Now the whole female angle to it comes in.
He just misunderstood. That's all it is.
What's this? Rose, and then Rose. What's Rose? Am I missing something?
Yeah, me too.
Rose. Rose was the stalker. Sorry. Thank you.
Oh, on the show.
Rose was a stalker. Thank you very much. I apologize to both Deb and Ron there. Holland Taylor. Oh, Susan.
Taylor.
Hold on. Susan seems got to have the correct first name, right? I mean, she just can't confirm Rose is the neighbor. She needs to know.
She's good.
God, I know.
That's why we call her Wonder Woman. She knows.
Yeah.
She's quick, very quick with her knowledge, which is impressive.
Yeah, she is. And then we get Deb doing the whole thing around Tom thing. Yeah, go to Ron, say hello to him. Oh man, it's predictable, right? So this, I see that should be a good show. Like just have a show of
all of them.
Like the whole male women dynamic, like the relationship, the communication or lack thereof, right? But like you and Beth, you communicate. You joke around about stuff like that, but you communicate well, right?
Yeah, and I said to her one time, I said, "We never fight." She goes, "That's because I'm always right." I went, "Yeah."
Oh, right. And then you just move on from there. Okay, good. Okay, so on a serious note, I know this is a buddy of ours, but Pete Hegseth. Mm-hmm. Somebody's got to get to him and tell him to stop.
Stay off that signal. Whatever that app is. Yeah.
So everybody doesn't know. So Pete Hegseth is what's he? That's awful. Department of Defense.
He's the Secretary of Defense.
Right. Yeah. So more good friends with Mark. He's participated in the swim across the Hudson.
Met him.
Had our picture with him. So we like him. We admire him. He's a patriot. All that kind of stuff. But he's got in trouble because supposedly he shared the information of the attack against the Houthis with his wife and lawyer and some other people on a Snapchat or something like that.
Yes, Signal. I think it's the name of the. Right. It's supposed to be encrypted and secure. Right. Apparently, it's not.
But why? Right. I mean, I guess that's the biggest question. Why not, if you want to tell your wife what's going on, honey, let's sit across the dinner table. And and especially with all the stuff that's going on, because if they can find a reason to target one of Trump's people, then they're going to go after him, right? So, yeah.
I just wonder also, and I'm not going to defend what he did because it's a security risk for sure at the very least. Maybe it was just a list of names and he hit it and it went out. Like who knows? Yeah. But they definitely need to do something about that.
Well, now the next few days are going to be concentrating on trying to get him fired, right, by the Democrats and
they're just looking for things to go after.
Right, but why give it to him, right? I guess.
Right. Yeah. So don't lean into a left hook.
Okay, hold on. Brandon Schneider has surgery for torn labrum. Yep. And I'd heard he was hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of guys. I mean, Truba was hurt all last year, right?
Right. Yeah. When a labrum wasn't always a thing. It really wasn't named. I looked this up. It wasn't named as a body part until like 30 or 40 years ago. There used to be there was no labrum.
Well.
Is that true?
It was there. It was
maybe not. Right.
We said shoulder injury.
Right. Okay. Right. Yes. Herb was the best guy. Herb was good. Yes. Yeah. So Herb was the new husband of Charlie's brother. What was Charlie's name?
John Cryer, the actor. I can't remember his name on the show.
Oh, see, that's good. You're showing off now too. You and Susan. John Cryer. So Charlie's brother's ex-wife was married to Herb.
Yes. Yeah.
He was funny. He was all.
The kid was funny too.
Yeah, the kid was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then the maid was funny too. Berta.
Oh yeah.
Berta was excellent. Yeah.
It was a good cast.
Berta's wife came up. Berta's daughter came along, and she was pregnant. And Charlie's brother. What's Charlie's brother's name?
I can't remember.
Anyways, he was really turned on by pregnant women. Alan and Judith. Judith was the wife's name.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And Alan was
Alan,
the
yeah,
thanks,
the
Susan.
brother.
Alan was the brother. So Alan was really turned on by the pregnant.
Yeah.
There's some funny stuff, man. I'll tell you.
Oh
Oh,
yeah. You know what was a good show too was King of Queens with what's his name? The comedian. The Paul Blart moral cop guy.
who was it? Who?
Susan, help me out here.
King of Queens, man.
Yeah.
Oh, Will Smith.
No.
Oh.
He played like a UPS driver. Another takeoff.
Oh, he's a chubby guy.
Yeah.
I know who you mean. Yeah.
He's actually a really good athlete.
Is he a good athlete?
Kevin
James. Kevin James, yes.
That was a good show. It was pretty
Michael
fun.
Elwood got that. Michael Elwood on a spot there. He's just laying in the weeds there.
He's fine away.
Kevin James. Thanks, Danny. A little bit late to the party, but thank you. Oh. See, I don't want to give Susan a hard time because once I start that, like, she get taxed.
Yeah.
That's Wonder Woman. She puts the cape on.
Yeah.
Does Wonder Woman have a mask? Wonder Woman?
No, she's a beautiful woman. Yeah.
That's right. But she does have a cape, though, doesn't she? Is she?
I believe she does. Yeah.
Right.
I think she flies, maybe. Also.
Does she fly? That's her super.
Yeah.
One of her
I don't think you can be a superhero unless you fly.
Yeah, you got to be able to fly, right? But Batman didn't fly, but he wasn't a superhero, right?
No, but he had the thing where he'd shoot like a zip line. Yeah.
He's more like a hand-to-hand combat kind of superhero.
Yeah, he was like, led a regular life, and
right.
He didn't have superpowers. He had that big computer.
That's right too. Yeah. And he had the butler there too.
Alfred.
Alfred the butler.
Yeah,
that's good. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Wonder Woman has an invisible jet. Does she?
So we all need one of those, man.
Roy Anderson. Oh, I wonder if he's related to Deb Anderson.
Yeah, well, they for what sport?
Oh, hold on.
National.
Hold on. Whoa, I get the mix up. I apologize. Wonder Woman. Yeah. Deb said that he had an invisible jet. It was Roy Anderson won. Western Michigan won the hockey.
That was a good game.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah, it was a really good game. Yeah, because Boston had on the ledger sheet more talent, but Western came out and played hard.
Okay, what is name some former players that played at Western Michigan? Goalie.
Goalie. John Sanders played there. The guy that was on ESPN, and his brother.
Yeah.
Goalie.
Glenn Healy played at Western Michigan.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yep. Neil Smith, former Ranger GM, played at Western Michigan.
Yeah.
Yep. I played against Northern Michigan universities. And what
was that
town?
A big rivalry? What was your biggest rivalry?
Oh, probably like Ohio State. We had some brawls with Ohio State. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. What town is Western Michigan in?
Oof. Starts with an M. Am I right?
Nope. Starts with a K.
Oh, Kalamazoo.
Yes. And what is Kalamazoo also famous for? Helps them recruit. Nursing school. Got a famous nursing school there in Kalamazoo. Big nursing school. Yeah. That was a great spot to go.
Well, they've always had a minor league team, whether it was the American League or
Kalamazoo Wings. Yeah.
The Wings. K-Wings. Yeah.
That's right too. Yes. All right. So playoffs are going. Toronto kind of dismantled Ottawa last night. I think Ottawa was like stupid. I mean, and stupid is the wrong word. There's so many young kids. I think Mess talked about it. They had like 18 of the kids that never played in a playoff game before. So naturally, they're fired up, right? They're running around and everything.
Toronto's pretty heavy. I mean, they got a lot of talent.
Yeah,
they come to play.
I thought the Winnipeg St. Louis game was a good game. Winnipeg pulled it off. My question was, I don't know about the Hellebuyck. Man, now I think it's getting to it because now there's this perception that he's this great regular season goalie, but can't play in the clutch. And now everybody talks about it all the time. It's got to be wearing on you, right? I mean, he needs a few games. Yeah. Let me see.
But the whole goaltending thing in the playoffs has kind of been weird. Like we've talked about this. There's been a lot of goaltenders that were just either rookies or just and they win a cup. Like the kid in Pittsburgh, what was his name? Just recently, past 5 years ago.
Was it Murray? Was Murray?
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. So, I mean, it happens.
Yeah. Tommy went to what school? Well, I played hockey at Northern Michigan. I don't know if we...
That wasn't much school going. What was the name of the bar?
The Alibi. The Alibi or Andy?
What classes, I should say.
Oh, God. Yeah. Man, we did not. Now I do all the studying on my own. I think I tell people, I talk to Dave Maloney pretty regularly. He's a very intelligent guy. we just die laughing because he knew me as a rookie, and I just come out of school. I didn't even know how to buy a book. And now I'm studying quantum mechanics. And
I read them.
nurses are naughty. Not right. Do you know some specific? Is it like you're just throwing that out there, or do you know some really?
Well, you were talking about Kalamazoo.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, to say nurses are naughty, though, I mean, it's like, is every nurse naughty?
Just in Kalamazoo.
Just the ones in Kalamazoo.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Danny, this is terrible. Tom's biggest opponent was drunk in state. Oh, that's awful.
Scholarship.
Derek Jeter, oh, that's right, Kalamazoo. He was from Kalamazoo. Yeah.
He lived everywhere. He lived in.
He traveled around. Yeah. Sens one and done. Yeah, in all likelihood, they'll lose too. Maybe 5 games they'll squeak out of it. But I think to me, that's all part of the process for them. I mean, I like that team. I think they're good, but that's a young team. They're going to lose early, learn a lot from it, come back next year, get some new players, and they'll be better. Yeah. But I think you're probably right. Mike Jenks. That's kind of like Mike Jenks. Is that like a secret agent kind of name? Hey, my name is Mike Jenks.
Or mob guy.
Mob guy. Like when he goes into a bar or something, meets somebody, person says, "Hey, what's your name?" "Hey, I'm Mike Jenks."
I don't know. Do you know where Mike Jenks is? He's in the back room. You got to get through Rocco first, though.
Yeah. Leafs and Jets. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
And there'd be a bunch of naughty nurses there, Roy. Is that what you're thinking? Troublemaker. What was Tom's grade point average? Yeah, we don't need to discuss that. No. I don't even know. I don't know how they gave me. I'll tell you what. There's a lot of fudging the records there. There was no computers back then, so
very aggressive AD apparently.
God. I know I've told this story. I think it's so funny, but I've told it many times. We had this one teacher. He used to ride on our professor. Used to ride on our team bus all the time, so we'd all take his class. And it was the old days. We had the computer card. The 5 things you'd fill in the little circle there with the pencil, and then they give you the question sheet. So he gave me the computer card first with no question sheet. Says, "Tom, you might as well start filling this out right now." There's no question. So I didn't know. Filled it out. Yeah. I was smart enough to not leave right away, but I filled it out. Almost sat there for 20 minutes and left.
I love it.
Got the solid C. Oh,
solid C too. There's C's and then there's a solid C.
This was a solid C.
It's a big difference.
This was a state eligible C right there. Yeah.
What was your major?
I started off as a business major, and then in time I became a speech major. Like actually, it wasn't like some people think like helping people like learn how to speak. I was actually a speak to make speeches.
No, I understand. Yeah, that's cool.
But a lot of people don't know that. See, you do because you're Mark
Picked
Putton.
Up on it.
Yeah, but you're Mark Putton, Vincus.
Yeah. It's only one.
Yeah. Have you followed much of the stuff that they're seeing with the James Webb telescope? Is it James Webb?
Yeah, it's a little frightening.
I know, right? They're finding all this new stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. The women that went on the spacecraft.
The Disney ride.
There's the one video when they've landed, and what's his name?
Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos is there. So they opened up the door. Jeff. They opened the door quickly before they were supposed to. The women came by and closed the door. Said, "No, don't open it yet."
Our makeup yet.
And he comes by with the magic tool to now open the door.
Yeah, the door that all you had to do is go.
Oh God! And what they're saying was too, all these other doors open. They pull them out, and if you see all the other videos of spacecraft, theirs closed in. Yeah. And then they had the pictures of the women. Their hair was not. When you're up, there's no hair is flying.
And Gail King's, she's upset that people don't consider her an astronaut.
I know. What's the famous meme that's out there too? If Gail King's an astronaut, then I'm a gynecologist.
Whatever. I
mean, no, that's what it was. If Gail King can be in space for 12 minutes and be an astronaut, then I'm a gynecologist.
There you go.
Oh God. Yeah. There's the more I look at it, even the splashdown and the whole bit, like it hits the ground and the dust is flying. Do you think those women were going to?
I mean, I knew. Listen, I'm a product of the '70s. I knew a lot of guys that were spaced out. I don't consider them astronauts.
Oh God, that's funny. It's really like, I don't know. Everybody's talking about the environment, the CO2 level. I'm for the environment.
Well, and then they start up with this is for humankind. You went up for 11 minutes.
Yeah,
it didn't change my life.
Right, you weren't doing any research or anything like that. Yeah, like what? Like really, what was the point of them going up there? Like other than Bezos' girlfriend?
Because Kim Kardashian is on the next one, believe it or not.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
How are they going to get her butt in that big door?
Well, they got to make a bigger door.
Yeah, they're probably going to
Sideways.
it'd be like an oval door, right? Like,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
it'd be like a lunar eclipse. That big butt.
you know what they should put in for the next one? Carrot Top. Imagine him like a weightlessness.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So who do we really want to go up in space? Like, who would you really love to see go up into space?
And just leave him there.
Well, okay. So two different categories here. One, leave him there. One, bring him back. Right. So who would you want? Who's the woman that left? Rosie O'Donnell left and went to Ireland, right?
Yeah. She may be a candidate.
Yeah, to go up there and not come back. Anyway, get the 5 women from The View. Wouldn't that be funny? That would be hilarious. Get them all up in the spacecraft. And then Trump would come along and say, "You're going to come back in. You can't come back in the country."
It's just amazing. Like, you have to say to yourself, is it just an act for these people?
Oh, I
Because
know.
like Trump's Trump. My life, it goes on. What are you gonna do?
The more and
Like him,
more,
love him.
the more and more I read things and everything, the more I realize it's all just a big game. They've all, whether they all said, I don't, and I think they didn't sit down and have one meeting. They just came to realize as they came in and said, okay, let me get this straight. I can come to Washington, D.C. I can get paid to do this. I can make millions of dollars by I get all this private information that nobody else has. And I'll make investments in stocks and I'll make millions of dollars and I'll get up and make these crazy speeches and I'll get reelected.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I mean, they all eat at the same restaurant.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This idea that they hate each other.
It's an act.
I know. Like who's the one? Who's the CNN reporter, Caitlin or something like that? Not that gets up.
Yeah.
She's always.
I think that's no act. I think she's really just miserable.
Well, and she likes. Give her credit though. She doesn't back down.
She hangs in there. Yeah. She's a tough Irish girl for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, she's got that stern look too.
Well,
like,
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know Beth is the most beautiful woman in the world to you, but would you consider that woman attractive or hard?
She could be if she got rid of the resting pissed off face.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Kristen, who's the press secretary there? What's her name?
Oh, Carolyn Levitt.
Oh man,
yeah.
Imagine being married to her. Like maybe it's one of those things when she goes home, she got nothing left, so she can't.
No, I think she's prepared all the time.
So he walks in the door.
Did you do the laundry? You better have done
it. That's right. If you're going to put like a half ounce of soap in instead of 3/4, then you better have some background.
Or better yet, did you separate the colors from the whites? Oh yeah. Meanwhile, she's just dumping it all.
You know who's taking some heat lately? Our boy Joe Rogan. He's
well, it was a matter of time for
I
turn on him too. Right?
I know.
That's the problem when you get too big. Then the haters go after you.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That I guess that's a compliment, right? Because whatever he says now is analyzed so much. Right. Yeah. And again, he's not alone, but there's a lot of selling of products.
Yeah.
Right. There was a term for that. My son told me there's a term for that. The guys that are up there, they get that platform, but they use it for selling products.
Well, influencers.
Yeah. There's some other kind of derogatory term.
But everything he says gets analyzed. The only one analyzing is Tracy.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh. She'd be a good press secretary. Can you imagine that? They try to.
No, you're not going to get one over.
I like how they have like the follow-up question. They'll say, "I have a question and I have a follow-up question."
Right.
And our girl, the CNN girl, did that the other day, and the press secretary kind of. I'm not taking your follow-up. Yeah. But she didn't quit though. She kept after.
She keeps coming back.
Yeah. See, I got to admire that. Don't quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
they all must sit back later on. They go for a few cocktails after, like.
Again, it's an act.
High five and like they're knuckling each other.
It's it's like anything else. How many hits you can get? How many views? How many likes? Yeah. It's the same as social media.
Yeah, we've got.
Yeah.
Yeah, they must have sitting there like. There were some videos too where they have like those the Senate and the Congress had those meetings where they're supposedly grilling the people or whatever.
Nothing
and then they show them they're on their phones like playing video games or something on their phones.
Yeah, on their iPad playing Candy Crush.
It's just, and it was funny is they are so arrogant now, and it's everybody. They don't care. Keep on going.
They don't care.
Yeah, because we've gotten to the point where we just don't care either. So
exactly, yeah.
All right. So
Well,
the guy,
also, there's nothing we can do about it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Why are we wasting our time? So the guy the Venezuelan guy, or no, El Salvadorian guy.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, okay. So we're confident he was a gang member, right? He's got the tattoos and everything.
Well, and this is why I'll tell you why. So his wife, there was a picture on the GoFundMe. She erased the tattoos.
That's what that was. Okay.
Yeah, and then when you see the tattoos, M is for marijuana. I forget, but so he's clearly a member of the necessary
Right,
team.
right.
In fact, when he went to before a judge and asked for amnesty, he said, because if I get sent back to El Salvador, a rival gang will
Right.
harm me. So that means you're a gang member.
Right.
I think the Democrats really blew it on this one.
Yeah.
If you're going to really go out and cry injustice, you
Right.
don't want to,
So the senator from Maryland, where he's from, where the guy's living, I should say, flies to El Salvador.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously he's doing it for political reasons. He wants to get reelected, so he'll have some good sound bites. But
Well, it really boils down to this, and it's pretty logical. I think somebody said it on the news. He's playing toward his constituents. In other words, there's a lot of illegals that will vote eventually in Maryland.
sure.
He's playing to that group.
And this is terrible too, because there's an awful event what happened in Dominican Republic with the bar, the collapse, and all that.
Yeah.
But now Mayor Adams goes down to Dominican Republic because there's
What's
a
he
lot
got
of
to do with it?
yeah, but there's a lot of it's Puerto Rico. Was it no, it's Dominican.
No, it's Dominican Republic. Yeah,
There's a lot of Dominican Republic voters
of
in
course.
New York City. So,
Yeah.
and you hate to see that, but God, it's like they take advantage of every little freaking
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, take care of your backyard first.
I would love to set up Tom with this pretty Asian girl from our local child. Let's go. Let's get it done. Let's go.
Something Wong.
As long as she doesn't fly a plane. Her
Oh,
name
that's
doesn't
right.
fly too low. Fly too low. That was one of the classic things ever, right? When that kid did that. I know we've talked about this before. So
That
people
was
that don't
awesome.
know, there's a plane crash.
That was terrible. Yeah.
Right. And so some intern or whatever on the news flashed up these 5 names of the pilots or whatever, or the flight crew. And it was like fly too low, something wrong.
Yeah, it's terrible. And the guy didn't pick like the poor. When I guess when you're focused on a teleprompter, you're just kind of going on
And they went,
like automatic.
they read it, and they read it really because it was a serious event. And they read it
It's a
really
horrible
serious.
event.
And here's the name of the pilots, the crew. Oh God, that's terrible. That's awful. It's funny, but it was like, I think I watched it live too, and I'm thinking, what? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
oh,
That was classic.
yeah. All right, so we've got the so who was it? Who was on the plate? It was Lauren Sanchez, or what's her name? Laura Sanchez. What's the?
I think it's Lauren,
Yeah.
Katy Perry, another.
Right.
When I think at NASA, I think of Katy Perry.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, or Gail King.
Automatically. Or
Yeah.
Gail King. And then I don't know.
Who's
some
the
other-
other, here's a scary woman for you. So who's the woman? She had a talk show. I think is Gail King good friends with Oprah? Is that what that is?
Pretty much
Okay.
good friends. Yeah.
Oh, you think
No.
you think there's more to it than that?
Wow. Who knows?
Oh, really? I didn't catch up. That's see,
I mean, that was a rumor from way back when.
oh, is that right?
Yeah, whatever, it's your business, but
Yeah, they do whatever. I wouldn't want to watch that though, would you? What, those two naked? Stop.
not particularly. No.
But who was the other woman recently who had some mental health issues? Another, and if I
An
show you,
actress?
she's kind of like a talk show host. She was
Oh,
like
Wendy Williams.
Wendy Williams.
Yeah, she's.
I'll tell you what, she's got some eyeballs that need to be shut pretty quick.
Ooh, wow,
Yeah.
she's poor thing's really sick. Yeah.
Is she
With the-
sick or is this
with
all?
those-
Oh,
I
is
know,
she,
those eyeballs, yeah, that look
Oh,
she's got now.
my
It's-
God.
Keep her away from any sharp objects for sure. Yeah.
Oh, you know what I feel better about now in New York City? They're composting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
That saves the world right there.
Yeah.
And, but people have-
you're the one that told me about the vertical
yes, vertical farming.
farming. Yeah, that's a pretty cool concept.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, there a follow-up article about it. It says it hasn't really taken off. That all the investors in it are pulling out now. But just pulling out. What's wrong with you? See, I said pulling out, and all I had to do was look at your face. I was like, oh, I know you didn't do anything. That's the point. It's just
It's bad.
God, it's terrible. If only they pulled
But
out.
there's a lot of restaurants because I watched some of the New York local cooking shows.
Yes.
A lot of restaurants in the city now on the roof, they'll start to plant all the microgreens.
Yes.
And so
Yep.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah. The other one is agua. So basically, they go in the fields and they put up solar panels, but they put them up on, like, I guess you call it stilts, up on stands. So it's up above the ground, obviously, and it's high enough that you could like drive tractors underneath and everything. And then they plant their crops underneath
To reflect it down.
right. Well, it does. It controls how much sun that the plants get. So some plants need more sun.
Yeah.
They claim that it really helps prevent overwatering or underwatering. You don't have to worry. So you're actually saving water.
It's pretty cool.
Apparently, you get much more of a from the crops. So basically, you're taking a piece of land and you're doubling the usage with the solar panels and the agroponics.
That's really where the emphasis on whatever we want to consider climate change. That's really where that makes sense. I mean,
there's so many things we could like thermal energy, going down in the ground for energy and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but same thing with the water shortage with the what do you call that? The what do you take salt water or salination?
Desalination.
Yeah.
Water is going to be. I was watching a documentary a while back. Water is going to become a worldwide problem if it isn't already.
Right. It's interesting. I saw Musk talk about that. He made it seem like that to our talk about desalination. The desalination was an easy thing to solve that issue.
If they can do it, but why haven't they done it yet? I mean, they've
money.
tried.
But I think there's
really a lot of money, probably.
Right. Yeah. Like you go, like I did some research on Israel because, like, do you know Israel, the southern part of Israel is a big desert? I didn't know that. And they've used desalination to now take the water from the ocean, obviously, desalinate it. I think that's the term, and then take all the water, put it down into the desert area, and they've grown forest in the desert and a whole bit. Yeah. So it's all doable.
It's California's had a bad drought for quite a while. I don't know what the status is now, but that was always a battle between, where the water's used.
Yeah. But again, from what I understand from the fires, we learned a lot where they were taking the fresh water and just letting it run right down into the ocean because of the fish or whatever, right? Yeah.
You have to ask Gavin.
Yeah, Gavin. Is somebody who, what did I see? It did a skit pretending they were him. He had the hands were going all over like when he talks. Oh, funny.
He's done. I mean, he wants to be president so bad. The guy's after the fires, everything, he's done.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think. I was going to say, or maybe it is a requirement. Like to be a president, do you have to like use a certain amount of hairspray or gel or something?
You have to have that Kennedy hair,
right? So I think Trump is more of a hairspray guy, right?
Yeah, there's something
very
shellacking.
Right, shellacking, probably good term.
Yeah.
Must be a machine they use or something, right?
Yeah, it's like a car wash he walks through.
But I think Gavin Newsom is more of a cream or a gel kind of guy.
Yeah, he gets up in the morning and looks at himself and he goes, handsome.
Yeah. Or do you think he looks at himself before he does the gel and everything and looks, I need to get to the gel.
No, this is great, but it can be even better.
Oh, so you think he's okay? Like he
screams his own name out.
Okay. So when he's having sex.
Yeah. You get my drift.
Oh, God. Oh, God, that's funny. Well, so just to be clear. So he's the kind of guy. So, okay, let me think of somebody else. Like there's going to be some people that wake up and go, I don't want anybody to see me right now. I need to shower, get the hair gel going before anybody can see me. Mm-hmm. He's the kind of guy that he wants the hair gel, but he's more than comfortable with what he
figures I'm the guy. It doesn't matter, gel or no gel, we're rolling.
Okay. Yeah. Now, our boy Pete Hegseth, as much as I like him too, and his politics and all, I think he's got a little bit. I mean, he's got the hair thing going on too, right?
He's a very for a certain segment of women. He does it for them. Yeah.
Now, you ever notice with some guys' hair, when they do the gel thing, like Gavin Newsom's more, the gel goes on, it's like a straight back kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Where Pete Hegseth, I noticed with him, he's got a little wave to his hair.
Yeah, he's got a little. It depends on what your hair's like.
Is that a natural thing you think, or is that like a curling iron?
No, I don't see him with the curling iron.
No curling irons?
No.
Right.
No.
But how much time should a man spend in front of a mirror before he's no longer like considered a real man?
Well, I'm going to say less than a minute.
Less than a minute?
Yeah, unless you're shaving.
Right. But Pete's got to spend more than a minute in front of the mirror, don't you think?
Well, he might have that propensity to really be prepared.
Right. Or okay, so here's the next. So with those kind of people though, at that level, do they have a team of people that does their hair?
They may. I mean, and let's see, the difference is when I walk out the door, there's no paparazzi out here.
Oh, you don't know that though. You don't
Well,
know
they
that.
may be in the trees. You might be right.
Right.
But these are public personas, so they got to really be on their A game. Because when they're not, it's all over the paper.
Right.
Like when they find like Madonna with no makeup on, it's on every paper, or whoever,
Sure.
Julia Roberts or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jennifer Garner, is it?
Yeah.
Isn't she kind of an ex of what's his
Ben
name?
Affleck.
Right. And they're kind of buddies again now. And she was walking out the other day, she had no makeup on, just beautiful. I thought she was
Some women could just
pair of jeans on. We are getting corrected here, and we should put this up on the screen, correct ourselves. So Wendy Williams has dementia, and
she's pretty sick.
you know what? I'm glad you said that, Susan. I did not mean to make light of it, but I did, and I apologize to her, to you, to anybody else.
Yeah, we were. I at least, we were. We're just saying it's scary look. Her eyes are really scary looking.
And it was, and in fairness, it was more me. It was not Mark. I dragged him into the
fray.
Yeah. Ashley Judd scares the hell out of me. Look up her video rants. Oh, is she nasty? Oh.
No, I think she's also suffering from some kind of mental disorder.
Oh, Ashley Judd is? Oh.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think she's manic depressive, if I'm remember right. I think her mother was as well. Matriarch.
Shows how we're getting older too. And I think she's Halle Berry. She did a talk show with some other women. It was about like getting older, and she was talking about having hot flashes, like getting mental pause.
Yeah, it's time has moved on for sure. Yeah.
Halle Berry going through the hot flashes.
Yeah.
Is it mental pause or is it menopause?
Menopause.
Oh, it's not mental pause.
No, it's the pausing for men.
So how come? So women have like a time where their life changes, right? Do we have that? Men don't.
No, we're basically like a male dog.
Right.
Every telephone pole is going to get something.
And that from the time we're born to the time we die, it doesn't change.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't really evolve.
Right. I know. Yeah, we don't evolve. and it's kind of funny. So if a man does evolve, the rest of us look at him like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
it's just like, whether I'm with you or some of the guys, I say something, Beth will just look at me.
How old are you?
How old are you?
And isn't it like a kind of a badge of honor the older you get to be more childish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all part of it. That's
I know.
The flow. Yeah.
Yeah. But once in a while, do you ever find yourself like trying to, like you say, like you're trying to act mature and then you go, what am I doing?
I mean, it's like, so when you're a young kid, like say, when you're coaching and the word balls is used.
Yeah.
All the boys laugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now it's happening now.
when they say Bangkok, right? It's like,
it starts up now again.
That's what I think you and I just did before, where I'm going deep. Wow. Okay.
So, did you get my text? So I'm watching a highlight of the female fight. It was actually a pretty good fight. This Fundora girl, really nice southpaw. And the announcer could see in male boxing pro, it's 3-minute rounds. Right. Female boxing is a 2-minute round.
Right.
So the announcer was, I love these 2-minute rounds because they're balls to the wall.
I missed it. You sent that, and I think, what? I didn't. I flew right over my bald head. Oh, that's funny. What time you got? You got to check, make sure, because you got your show. We got time. We got time.
Yeah.
I love this show. I love doing this with you. It's like we cover all sorts of topics. Okay. I don't know if I should discuss this publicly, but I guess I have to. Pooping.
I knew this was somehow I knew we were going to go from okay.
I got to tell you a couple of things on the subject. I'm in really good control of my poops right now. Like my food intake, I really like. If I feel like you're feeling a little bit sluggish inside there, okay, get that can of beans going. Get the beans in me. The beans seem to be the thing for me. Big bean.
That's your school bus.
Oh yeah, I feel like there's a blockies there, or whatever.
Yeah.
Get the baked beans in there. B&M No, actually, I like B&M better, but I go with Bush's because I get them at Costco. Get the big box there.
What's the sugar?
I think it's great. I don't think that's very good. Yeah. I'll tell you what though, I did go through a spell. I kind of get off the poopy. I'll come back to that because there's something really important I want to talk about. But I went through a period of time there where I felt that sourdough bread was a necessity to have at every meal. I was like, he's got like just sourdough bread, sourdough bagels, sourdough cookies, sourdough cake. Man, I turned into a big freaking
I was going to say,
sourdough.
how much weight did you?
Oh man,
Yeah.
I went to
Yeah.
put on a pair of pants. I said, whoa,
Yeah.
put the sourdough on the back of the fridge.
Yeah.
But it is interesting how
It's so
you get
good,
the
though.
Oh, I know. God, the homemade sourdough.
Yeah.
When you make homemade bread anytime,
Anything. Yeah.
oh, and it's
Smell
warm.
it comes out warm.
Oh God, you slather the and you know you think to yourself, okay, I could get some like all vegetable sauce dip. I could dip it with. I could put honey on it, but no,
Yeah.
you got to slather butter on it.
Oh, it's the only way to go.
Oh yeah,
And
but
a little bit of salt.
yeah, but we're not as down on butter as we used to be, though, right? I mean, it's just
No, that actually, I agree that butter is you should be using butter.
okay.
Yeah.
Salt free, or I guess like
So here's the reason I was thinking. So TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, very popular thing now, and that's fine. But I also feel that you should exhaust every natural way, and we just don't talk about that.
Yeah, totally.
And most people aren't even aware of it. And I am a little bit. I'm doing more research to really see foods and everything affects your test. If you're stressed out, your cortisol goes up, your test goes down. If you're not getting proper sleep, all these different factors. Exercise, you get enough exercise. But we're so quick in this country just to put somebody on something.
Oh yeah.
And the problem with TRT is once you start it, that's it, man. You can't come off it. That's it for the rest of your life.
See, but I hear differently with that theory. I'd heard that for many years. I had a buddy of mine that went through he had prostate surgery, so they put him on the medication where they want him to stop his body to stop making testosterone. And the doctor's telling him that once he gets off that medication, his testosterone will jump back up there again. So I'm hearing different opinions on because I'm with you.
Yeah, but I think the one you're talking about suppresses testosterone.
Correct.
Whereas when you're taking exogenous testosterone,
Yep.
your body shuts down. Says, "Hey, look at all this. We don't need to make it."
I know that's what I'd always believed too, but I'm hearing differently now that's not the
different. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
It's how long? How much?
Right.
Right.
And I guess it depends where your levels were, what your age is, all that kind of stuff too. Yeah.
So, for instance, let's say your level now is at 500, and you want to get to 800, which is the higher end of the acceptable normal range. That's fine, but you don't. If you go from 500 to 1200, then you run that risk of your everything shutting down.
Right.
Production.
Right. So people don't know what we're talking about. Just to be clear, so testosterone is a natural chemical in your body.
It's the male hormone, basically.
Yeah, and in most men, particularly men, but women as well, as you get older, generally your testosterone level drops. Now, here's what's somewhat controversial. Some people believe that testosterone replacement therapy, taking shots of testosterone, man-made testosterone, there's no debating here. It will raise your testosterone level. In the past, I think it's some people that really haven't studied it too much. The theory is that it's dangerous. From this reading I do, I don't think it's dangerous at all. In fact, there's some people believe it can be very, very healthy for you if it's done properly. So.
Yeah. So again, if you go to what would be the higher end of what your normal would be considered a normal range, or maybe a little bit, but the problem, I think, this is just my opinion, is when you go past that by a great deal, then you're running a risk of some side effects. But certainly, it does provide lean body mass, reduces fat. The worry was that if you do have cancer, particularly prostate cancer, and that's kind of been disproven.
Yeah, because I think that got lumped in with human growth hormone, right? So human growth hormone is different in that it's a human growth hormone. So the theory is that everything in your body, every organ,
good, bad, or different.
Right. So if a cancer is in your body, but again, I think Mark and I'll say it for Mark because I know he thinks the same way. We want to be careful. Everybody has to make their own decision with their doctor and everything. I think we do a lot of reading on it, and
it's case by case. And
definitely. And there's some people, like I had a high blood pressure problem there a while ago, and some of the reading I had was that in some cases testosterone could help with high blood pressure. In other cases, it could make it worse. So you really have to. That's one of the things where if you're going to use it, you have to.
It's case by case, and you should really find, if you're considering it, find a good endo guy, endocrinologist.
Right. And to your point, get a good doctor that is open-minded to it. There are some doctors who say, no, you can't do it. You can't do it.
Yeah.
Well, I think part of that is what kind of doctor are they? Whatever. Yeah.
Old school, new school. And the thing is that what concerns me a bit is they're setting up, and there's one right down the street here in Paramus. They're called Game Day. So you go in there, they do their blood work, and they come back. Oh, you know, I'm going to put you on this. I guess they have to be pretty accurate with it because there's a
Right.
liability issue. But you also wonder how many people walk out with a script as opposed to who don't.
Yeah, there's some places you could go to. You could be almost dead, and they're still going to give you testosterone. They don't care,
Exactly.
and they're calling that. Yeah. Okay, so pooping. And I feel like we're all friends here, right? I mean, the whole group. So I can share this kind of stuff. This has never happened to me before, but I feel like I'm much more in control of my pooping now. The texture, timing, all that kind of stuff. I had to poop the other day. I don't know how it happened. So it's like there's it didn't, it didn't drop all the way off. So there was some that was still, what do you call those, dingalings, or they're still hanging?
Klingons. Star Trek.
Klingons. So when I went to wipe, so now I get this chunk, and it was odd, because usually you don't have a chunk, right?
You would hope not.
Yeah, you've got liquid, right, that you got to wipe off. Right, but this was a chunk.
So maybe you had a little bit too much fiber.
It was certainly, yeah. It was off, yeah.
Yeah.
Or it was maybe it do a little more trimming. Maybe a hair issue. I don't know.
Well, it could be. You got some blockage. Yeah.
Okay. Hold on, Susan. Even good friends keep something to themselves.
She might be right on that one.
Yeah. But don't you think, though? I mean, like if I come to you and you've got a problem, like you want to know for sure that Tom is going to tell you what you actually need to hear, not what Tom is like basically lying to you to make you feel good.
I think what Susan is getting at, it's if it was one-on-one, she's probably of the opinion it doesn't have to go out to more than one other person.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. But what if there's somebody else out there that's had the same problem and they're just mortified? They're thinking, "Oh my God, I'm the only person."
I would say that there's a website or some kind of organization or charity or for everything. Just got to Google it and you'll find a whole group of people that have this.
So like, what do you do? Like, I have a Klingon. What should I do?
Put it right into Reddit, man. You'll get pages, I'm sure.
Right. Okay.
Of answers. Yeah.
So you feel like I don't need to really be that guy that helps out. I'm not.
You don't need to publicly air it. You could probably use Chat GPT. Would be a great source.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. Klingons. Yeah. Is Klingons? Is that what they did the finger thing too? Or is that?
No, it's Vulcan. That was Spock.
Nanu. Was that? No, that was Robert Williams, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mork and Mindy.
Mork and Mindy. What was the premise of that show? Was he like an alien?
He was an alien, and then he, like kind of somehow appeared and was living with her. And
Mork was Mindy kind of hot too, like that natural.
Well, that was the whole hook. Yeah. So is this alien gonna hook up with Mindy? Yeah, that was the whole hook. Yeah.
Oh,
just like I Dream of Jeannie.
Do you think they were doing were they doing the horizontal mambo?
I don't think they were doing that. No, because
he was
an alien.
Yeah, that's right.
Who knows what kind of what's going on down there?
It's like Gilligan from Gilligan's Island probably wouldn't know what to do, right?
But at least he had the equipment. With the alien, you don't know.
Not being equipped.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do they do? Like those people that are up in space for like months, what do they do when they're pooping?
Well, I don't know about that, but I was thinking about everything else. I mean, that woman, when that guy were stuck there together, after a while, you run out of stuff to talk.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Do you think they'd be doing the dirty up there in the space?
Well, I don't know about that, but it's got to be weird after a while, right?
What would be like, because there's no gravity. So I guess there's not a whole lot of gravity. Well, there could be the gravity. So the guy comes when he's doing the upward motion before he goes down again.
Just keeps going.
It
just keeps going. Right up to the roof. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You can see where it presents a certain set of problems. Yeah.
Imagine that, man. Oh, that would be a funny porn video right there. Porn in space. Oh,
well, producers get one from LA and we'll replicate it.
Yeah, but isn't there some way they replicate being in space? How do they do that? Like
they put a wire on you and they hang you. It's pretty easy.
No, silly man. There's a real. How do they replicate being in space?
It's called the vomit comet. It's a plane. What they do is they drop really quick. So for a very brief period of time, the plane's dropping. You just kind of
hold on. We're on to something here. Hold on a second. So we got the vomit comet, and there's also those planes where people do the Mile High Club. They specifically go up to do the Mile High Club.
So why don't we combine it?
Combine the two of them.
Yeah.
Oh, don't say anything. Don't say anything because people are going to steal that idea.
Yeah.
So we go up. So you advertise it. So you're going to go up. It's like having space sex.
Yeah.
Instead of SpaceX, it's space sex.
There you go.
Oh,
There you go.
man.
Yeah.
I'm calling Elon right now.
Yeah, call
Elon.
him. You got his number. I don't know. Call him.
Oh, goodness. Oh, that would be funny.
Don't let Bezos know because he'll,
Space. Yeah,
he'll
Laura.
have Cardi B up there.
So she's the hottie, or if she was hot. He's
Who's
the
that?
nerd that invented
Oh, yeah.
Amazon. So now he's got a bunch of money. He's in shape now.
Yeah.
He's got this hot girl. and she-
TRT.
every kind of
TRT.
plastic surgery on the planet. Like, or
Yeah,
maybe-
she's not my cup of tea.
yeah, there's a lot of fake stuff there. Like that's,
Yeah.
ooh.
Yeah.
What is that stuff that when they put like Tupperware with plastics? Is it BPAs or?
Yeah, you got those. Yeah, you got to be
Right.
careful with that because those are
She's
forever
got some-
chemicals.
She's got some BPAs.
Some. Yeah, God bless her, but yeah, not my cup of tea.
I know.
Because she wasn't she like a newscaster or something? Like
Yes, I think she's on
Yeah.
like some business, like
Something,
MSNBC
yeah.
or something like that. Yeah.
that?
Oh, yeah. So she's potentially spreading BPAs to him.
Yeah, I mean that's not cool.
Man, it's like, oh man, he's got to wear a space condom.
That's something.
I tell you, that whole SpaceX thing, though, you think about
That's
that?
got you going. Yeah, I like it.
Oh, man, maybe that's the way to could solve a lot of problems, right? Like you,
There's a business there somewhere.
right?
Yeah.
Well, on that note, everybody, we
I
okay,
gotta run.
this could be one of the most informative
This
shows
was
we've done.
epic today. Yeah, this
Right,
will probably go straight to the Library of Congress.
Definitely, and I'll be getting on the phone to Elon Musk, getting the,
Yeah,
the
tell him I
space
said hello.
get the SpaceX thing going. I'll say hello to the great Mark Buttonbank. Said say hello.
I passed
All right, brother.
it.
Have a
All right, man, have a
fantastic
good
week.
one.
See you, brother.
Yeah.